Hey guys, welcome back to Top Tipper Betting Tips. I trust you're having a fantastic evening and you enjoyed the racing that took place out at Greyville today. It was tough racing, but we box on and we still love our game. The postman tipped a fantastic jackpot the other day out at the Vaal. Jackpot 1 returning 500 odd rand. So that was fantastic. Hopefully he can tip us some nice tidy profit win bets with his card out at the Vaal. So I'm going to hand you over to the postman to take you through the Vaal card.
Yeah, good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, no matter where in the world you guys are. And racing comes to us from the Vaal Classic track on Thursday, the 15th of December. On Tuesday, guys, as you know, things were moved from Turffontein to Vaal Classic. It wasn't a bad day. I know we got the first jackpot. I know we caught the PA because we had a skeleton place out there. We added things in. Yeah, not a bad day at all. Unfortunately, the value bets stuck us away a bit, but let's see how we go on Thursday. So as I said, Thursday the 15th from the Vaal Classic track, 9 races carded, and not a bad card, guys. The first is due off at 1200 hours. This is a work riders maiden plate for fillies and mares over 1,000 meters. And going through the first race, the first selection here is horse number 9, Prey Upon a Star. Sam Messiah gets the mount here for Corey Lensley. Has had one run, finishing 4.5 lengths behind Above the World. Was making progress on that occasion. Must improve with that run under the belt. Did have excuses, was choking up. But in this field, I don't think you have to be a superstar to win, and I certainly think that this one has got a nice chance. Currently around about 18 to 10. For second, I've gone for a bit of a rough here. This is horse number 8. Pour Some Sugar on Me, and this is Kelsey Mayhew for the Fortune Yard. This has had one run. I know we go and we look at this one, and it was well beaten in his debut at Turffontein, but did run behind Melech. Was slow on that occasion. I am looking for an improved effort, and if this one jumps on terms in a weak race, certainly can fill in one of the minor spots. I mean, like I say, really weak race. The second favorite is horse number 2, Smelting, and this has had 38 runs, still a maiden. So you don't have to be too good to run a drum here. That's why I've gone for 8 to run second. For third, I've gone for horse number 1, Heart and Mind, Chamo Mabayo for the Matchet Yard. I think this one is drawn on the right side of the track. Chamo rode this one 2 runs back, finishing second behind Mia Regina. And again, good enough to fill in one of the minor spots. For fourth, we've gone for horse number 3, Gitana. This is from the Bill Human Yard. Last time out, putting a line through that. I think it was better than that with Stradum aboard. We go and look there, 4.5 lengths to Rennie. That's not a bad sort. 5 lengths to Second Breath. 4.5 lengths to Madam Vicky. Round about 10, 12 to 1, guys. Maybe throw this one in swingers. With 1, 3, 8 and 9. Box those swingers and see what happens. I don't think you can go too wrong, but I certainly think that 3 is good enough to run a drum here. So the first race gone 9, 8, 1 and 3. We'll move on to the second race on the card. This would be the first leg of the bipot. This is due off at 12:30. It's a maiden plate over 1,000 meters. And again, going through this race, guys, if you're taking bipots, we have 2 options. Bank our first selection. That's horse number 1, Treya Mishi, Muzigeni for Robbie Sage. Form is there for all of us to see. Very speedy sort. I think Muzi will jump and go. And of those that have run, I certainly don't think that it will get caught. So we can take a chance. We can bank a Treya Mishi in the bipot. Or what we can do, as my suggestion, Let's throw in this horse number 12, Mother of Pearl, Keegan Demella for Johan Janse van Vuren. Nicely bred. I think it is on the right side of the track, maybe a touch sharp, but I certainly don't think there's anything here that's going to Hollywood. So I'd rather have a smaller percentage. So we're going to throw the 12 in as well. So for second, I've gone for the 12. For third, if you guys are taking trifectas and quartets, I've gone for the 5, Tiger in Red. Wesley Mowing gets Iradia for Waiho. 2 runs back, finished 4 lengths behind Mandalay. Last one out, finished 8.5 lengths behind Bright Blue Sky. Came around the bend, very, very green. And again, I think that this one may be worth another chance to run a drum. We've thrown this one to run third. For fourth, gone for horse number 6. This is Fort Apache. Cabela Matsiani gets the ride for Candice Dawson. I see they have thrown blinkers on this one for the first time. We go and we look. 5 lengths to Port Louis, good run. 2 lengths to Dance Variety. These are Cape runs. Since it's come to Gauteng, slowly coming back to a bit of form. As I said, I think good enough to run into the back end of trifectas and quartets. So the second race, guys, we've gone 1, 12, 5 and 6. If you want to take a chance, bank the 1 or go 1 and 12 as we have suggested in the bipod. Third race on the card. And this is the first leg of the place accumulated, Jorf at 13.05. Another maiden plate for the girls over 1,450 meters. Again, we go through this. This is quite a tricky event. My narrow first selection here is horse number 8, and this is Save the Queen. JP van der Merwe gets a ride here for the Alec Ledyard. Was not a bad effort, did have excuses, so we're looking for some improvement on that first run. As I said, wasn't the worst of runs. Certainly can give a decent account of itself, must go into all exotics. For second, I've gone for the 3. This is Reggie's Girl, Siana Sasibo for Robin Klaasen. We know how well Siana has been riding. He will be claiming his 4 kilos and carrying only 55 kilos. Certainly can be there when the whips are cracking. For third, we've gone for horse number 9. This is 3 Strands. This is Marco van Rensburg for Corne Spies. Did have 1 run, finishing 6th first time out. Needed that run, jumped, sat handy, and stopped. And again, I certainly think that that one run would have brought this one on. And again, good enough to run a drum here. For fourth, we have gone for the first timer. This is horse number 11. And horse number 11 is Turn the Beat Around. This is the current favorite, Muzigeni for Mike de Kock. Round about 17 to 10. I look at the breeding on this one. I think it's certainly bred for further. Will have to be really good to win from that draw first time out at this track. Guys, just watch and see if there's money for it. When I say money, I'm talking big money. This, in order to win from that draw, they will have to punt this one really in to around about 6 or 8 to 10 before I even have a look at it. But again, maybe good enough to run into the back end of trifectas and quartets. So race 3, 8, 3, 9, and 11. The fourth race on the card, Jorf at 13.40. This is the first leg of the pick 6. Another maiden plate for 3-year-olds over 1,450 meters. As you can see, guys, I have given you a skeleton pick 6. Please use those numbers and see what comes up. In the pick 6, guys, we go and look, and there's 2 horses that dominate the betting, namely horse number 5, Archimedes, and horse number 6, Fog Bank. When we go and we study the form of this, Fog Bank looks the right one. However, coming back from a 40-week layoff, may be in need of the run, but if reproducing that run to East Coast, for me, should dawdle the race. But we've got to take fitness for granted. Archimedes has had one run, was a decent effort behind Winter Greeting. Went off at 99 to 1. The stable didn't know anything about it. Could have snuck in there. But that is the current favorite at 14 to 10. Due to the fact that there was no support for the 5 and the 6 coming back from a long layoff, my narrow first selection here would have to be horse number 7. This is Magic Prince, Muzieni for Mike de Kock. This ran first time out behind Boisterous. Boisterous was all the rage on Tuesday, did let us down, I think running 3rd, but was all the rage. Then Magic Prince runs behind Melech, 4.5 lengths. Melech is a little above average, and I do think that Muzi will jump. I think he'll sit off them and cannot be left out of any exotic. So bearing all that in mind, my first selection would be horse 7, Magic Prince, followed by horse 6, Fog Bank. And as I said, if that was not in need of the run, I would banker it. For 3rd, I have gone for the current favorite, 5, Archimedes, cannot be left out. And for 4th, thrown in horse number 10, this is Secret Reef. This is Stewie's only runner for the day. Did have one run, showed absolutely nothing. However, was green. There was a touch of support for it on the day. Has had a 15-week layoff, and I'm willing to give that one a second look, and I've selected that to run 4th. In our pick 6, guys, we're going to go 6, 7, and 8. So we move on to the 5th race on the card. This will be the first leg of Jackpot 1. This is to be run over 14:15, 2:15. Emir rated 80 handicap, over 1,500 meters. And when we go through this here, my first selection here is horse number 8, Future Pearl. This is, again, Sianda Sasibo for the Tarry Yard. Sianda claiming he's 4th, so this horse will only be carrying 50.5. And I really think that this will jump, nicely drawn at 4, will be up there, and can certainly go very close here. I think for smaller players, banker this one in the pick 6. My second selection here is a real roughie. This is horse number 5. This is Kill Shot. Kill Shot ran 5 3/4 lengths behind Future Pearl last time out. Did have an excuse, she was in season. We go back and look at that. Kill Shot carried 60 kilos on the day, Future Pearl 49 kilos. We go and look today, Future Pearl is carrying half a kilo more than it did last time, and Kill Shot is actually down 5 kilos. So it's 5.5 kilos swing in Kill Shot's favor. We go and we look at some of the form that Kill Shot has got. 1.5 lengths to Feather Boa, ran in a grade 1. 3.5 lengths to Canadian Summer. 5.5 lengths to East Coast. This Kill Shot, guys, is not, I don't believe, is not a 20-1 shot. Jackpots, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm taking all 4 selections and hoping that some of the roughies arrive. So for 2nd, I have gone for Kill Shot. For 3rd, I've gone for 4, Meridius. Ryan Munger for the Fortune Yard. Again, the form was there for all of us to see. Last time out of the Dingons, I think was a little outclassed. I see they've pulled the blinkers off. Carrying 59 kilos. I don't know if it can give Future Pearl 9 kilos. That's why for smaller punters, pick 6, banker the 8. Jackpots, as I said, taking all my bets, all 4. For 4th, I've gone for the 6. This is Duke of Rain, Marco for Rensburg for Lucky Odalakis. Again, this has got some fair form. And again, for bigger perms, throw this one in. So race 5, 8, 5, 4, and 6. We'll move on to the sixth race on the card. This is a due off at 1450, made rate at 66 handicap over 1,000 meters. And in this event, my first selection here is horse 3, Trust the Fire. Muzi Yeni gets your ride here for Bill Human. Last time out, this finished 2.5 lengths behind Dancing Dora. I certainly think that this Trust the Fire will give a very, very good account of itself. Cannot be left out of any permutation. For second, I've gone for the 5, and this is Quick Run. Gabriel Peterson for Shaylin Naidu. We go and we look at some of the form here. 5 lengths to Anfield's Rocket. That was a great effort. And again, last time out, finished 1.5 lengths to Dancing Dora. Was running on, must be included. For third, we've gone for the 4, Looking Hot. Malasela Kajedi gets a ride here for the Bowing Yard. He rode this one last time out, finishing third behind There She Goes. Did have excuses, and again, carrying or claiming his 2.5 must be included. For fourth, we've gone for the 7, Bridge of Spires. Wesley Mowing for Daniel Pretorius. I know we tipped this one to run a drum last time out. This ran second and neck. I'm certainly throwing this one in again. Pick sixes for larger perms. Throw in all 4 selections. Smaller perms, throw in 3 and 5. As I said, jackpots, put all 4. And we've gone 3, 5, 4, and 7. The 7th race on the card, guys. This is due off at 1520. Made rate at 86. Handicap for the girls over 1,000 meters. And in this race, guys, I think this is the best bet on the card. Please take note, horse 7, Rose Velvet, has been scratched, so leaving us with a field of 7. And my best bet is this horse number 5, Rose for Trippy. Samanga Kamalo gets back aboard this Daughter of Trippy for the Mike and Adam Azzi stable. Last time out, very, very unlucky. Was slow, was bulked for about 200 meters. I really think that this is a really good bet, and we're certainly going to have a touch on this one. For second, I've gone for the 4, Blue Waters, Marco van Rensburg for the Hoodalakus Yard. This is coming back from a 15-week layoff. Has got some good form. If fit and well, certainly be there when the whips are cracking. For third, we've gone for horse 3, Mythical Dream. Keegan de Melle for Johan Janssen van Vuren Yard. Again, the form is there for all of us to see. Must be there and thereabouts. If you're taking trifectas, throw this one in. For fourth, we have gone for the 6, Dancing Dora. Again, 1-4 on a trot. Chase Marjan gets a ride for Fani Broncos. Certainly worth throwing into back end of trifectas and quartets. So race 7, I've gone 5, 4, 3, and 6, and I do think that Rose for Trippy is worth a touch. The 8th race on the card, due off at 1555, merit rate at 84 handicap over 1,200 meters. And in the 8th race, we found my value bet round about 8-1. This is horse number 8, Mescal. Nathan Klink for Fani Broncos. Nathan rode this one last time out, finishing second behind Timbavati River. I think that this horse, I think they'll jump, they'll be handy, and I certainly think that around about 8-1 worth an each way touch. For second, we've gone for 2 on Q, Ryan Munger for the Fortune Yard. Last time out, finished the race off with respiratory noises. Nicely drawn at 1. Again, good enough to fill in one of the minor spots. For third, we've gone for the current favorite, horse 6, Melech. Muzieni for Roy Magna. Again, must be included in all exotics. This is Roy's only runner for the day. He's not going to go all the way to the Vaal to have a look at the weather. Won a maiden well last time out. Throw this one in. For fourth, we've gone for the horse 4, Ramai. This is Kabela Matsiani for De Kock. We go and we look. This has got some decent form behind it. Very speedy sort. And again, I certainly think that with the inclusion of blinkers for the first time, this will be up there and under the hands of Cabello certainly shouldn't be left out of larger perms. So race 8, 8, 2, 6 and 4. We'll move on to the lucky last, guys. You're off at 1625, a classified stakes over 2,000 meters. I think this is the toughest race on the card, putting as many as the budget would allow. My narrow first selection is horse 10. This is Mirren. Samanga Kamalo gets back aboard this one after a long time for the Bottas Forstler yard, and I certainly think that back over 2,000 meters must be included in all exotics. For second, we've gone for a nice roughie here, horse number 2. This is Forged by Fire, Ryan Munger for Paulie Matchett. Was not a bad effort last time out, was staying on, and I certainly think that the trip of 2,000 meters will suit this one down to the ground. For third, I've gone for the 1 Master of Coin, David de Gavea for Mike and Adam Azzi. Big negative here for me is the draw, but if Diego can get across, certainly worth throwing in. For fourth, we've gone for the 7 Rarotonga Rose, Keegan Demera for Lucky Hodolakis, drawn wide, but the way this horse runs, the draw would not affect it, but would need a lot of luck in the running. I think Keegan will jump. I think he'll sit near the back and come with a late rattle. And again, certainly worth throwing into back end of trifectas and quartets. So race 9, guys, 10, 2, 1 and 7. As I said, guys, I have given you a skeleton pick 6. Throw your selections in there. I do fancy the best bet and the value bets. Please watch for betting on first timers. Watch for jockey changes. I know that Gabriel Peterson was stood down on Tuesday, so one will just have to watch and see if he's riding on Thursday. Guys, take it easy. Look after yourself. Stevie, back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks for that, the postman. We appreciate that input. Hopefully you steered the guys in the right direction and you're going to deliver. That's why you called the postman. So you've tipped a 9-race program, your bipod PA, value bet, best bet, pick 6, jackpot 1 and jackpot 2. So please, Lord, let them arrive for the punters and let's make some nice Christmas money. All in all, enjoy, have fun, break a leg, and cheers for now.